is I think it'd be wonderful if, I feel like we're at a point now, we have enough people, and we've been discussing things long enough that we could come up with some sort of basic mission statement to put on our own literature as opposed to just passing out the city stuff. I think that's really important. And obviously we would all write it together. Okay. And, another idea I had was, well, we're in Starbucks, and I don't know if you guys are gonna go for this one, but I kind of wanted to have like a donation jar, so that we can...
you can't solicit donations on campus. If you get caught, you get in trouble for it.
Who gets in trouble?
I don't know how it works, but I always know, Isabel always tells us at the radio station that soliciting donations on campus to students is a no-no. It's a big no-no, but we function outside USG, so technically, Dave and Mazzy, you probably know more than you.
I don't know, because I don't want to look like we're begging, but at the same time, it'd be nice to have some sort of a fund started so we could buy chalk, so we could buy stuff to make banners, so we could buy stuff to make better posters and stuff.
Can we sell things instead?
We could sell.
We could talk about that topic.
Yeah,
as a topic.
It's going to be a big topic. Yeah. This is only to agree on topics?
Okay.
Yeah, just
fundraising of some sort. Another thing...
sorry to interrupt you, but after we went through the topics, if anyone else has any topic ideas, put forth them as well.
Yeah, this is just me personally writing shit down. Also, we talked about at the last GA talking to departments, and I was going to post something on the website about it, and then I realized we didn't really flesh that idea out at all, and I had no idea what we were going to write. So if we could really finalize what we mean by that, talking to departments, getting permission to talk to classes and stuff, I think we need to flesh that out more. And someone mentioned this idea that I thought was great and a little dangerous, and for the more foolhardy of us, would be really interesting if we made big banners, cloth banners or butcher paper, whatever, and hung them on the top of buildings.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes. Let's talk about that.
Because I think, that'd be flashy and fun, and it doesn't just have to say Occupy Stony Brook, they could have info or whatever on them.
And it's an adjustment on the tenting principle that they just discussed. Does anyone, I don't want to interrupt, I'm sorry, does anyone know real rundown on tenting? They just approved it at Occupy Wall Street. Does everyone know? Does anyone not know?
I don't know.
Tenting is this new concept they thought of where you get any materials, you construct a tent or a tent-like structure with a message on it and leave it somewhere. It's a way to get information out to people. No one occupies a tent. It doesn't even, from my understanding, it doesn't even have to be a tent. It's because they specifically said grab any materials and make a tent or tent-like structure with a message that we could agree on by consensus, and you leave it somewhere.
Oh yeah. In terms of banner dropping, I have access to a roughly 30-foot red banner with words "Fight Back."
That's awesome.
Would you be willing to part with it? Because we probably won't get it back.
I understand.
Things will get taken away from us if we go this route.
And this is why I wanted to have a tip jar.
I also know a little bit about a few buildings. I've done some reconnaissance.
All right, cool.
Nice.
And you had something else?
2 things, 2 points of information.
Okay.
In reference to tenting, just to expand on that a little bit. What we've been doing with that, just to clarify a little bit, is taking really anything. I've seen people steal the caution wet floor signs, paint over them, and write Occupy Together on them and just leave them on street corners.
Oh yeah.
And in reference to buildings, if we're going to do that, ECC is probably the best idea. There is easy unlocked roof access for use with the observatory. You could have something draped right there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of buildings with access to the roof.
Yeah.
Well, easy access.
No, there's a lot of buildings with easy access to the roof.
So how about this?
Which we'll discuss later,
keep
maybe
that in
off
mind
campus.
if we go into
Or off camera, I mean.
We will establish a committee.
We discussed maybe getting some sort of buttons or t-shirts or something that we could show our affiliation with the group. I don't know, just more consciousness raising, getting people aware that we exist.
Sure, we can talk about it.
I think that we should make our own t-shirts. There was, Chrissy was talking about how she knows how to silk screen.
Yeah.
Really ghetto-ass silk screening. Which
We at WSB have access to button pressing, buttoning stuff. We make WSB buttons constantly that go nowhere, but but we have access to the equipment that we could more likely be allowed to use.
And did you have something to say too?
Oh, right. So, just as a guest topic, and did you guys already talk about student loans and stuff like that?
No, we're gonna.
Okay, so how many have student loans?
Ooh, I do. I have tons.
Okay, how many are in default? Anybody in default or anything?
Not yet, no.
Okay, I'm in default.
Shit.
So what I wanted to do was have everybody's like letters that they, or just how much they owe, because that's, and then just make some kind of collage of it.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what they're doing at, there's some kind of website I saw, but because, I mean, you know, it's, anyway, so that's
Yeah, let's talk
What's your
about
name?
that.
Victoria.
Victoria.
Were you the one on the website asking about Sally Mae?
Yeah, I mean, they're the devil.
Yeah, they've got mine now too.
Oh, but I have another one too. This one involves occupying Medicaid office, the local Medicaid office, because just I don't know how many of you guys have health insurance or through the school, but it's like ridiculously expensive. It's $500, but I qualify for it, and they have lost my paperwork like 8 times. So I figure I'm gonna go there probably Tuesday and just sit there until they process my paperwork. So that's another one. If anybody wants to join me on that.
You can talk about it.
All right. So,
David?
I have 2 topics. I talked about this like before, but I think we need a second meeting on Thursday. People seem to have agreed on like 2 p.m. on the website, but we should just talk about it. And then there's been this sort of thread on the forum about tents and just our strategy in general. So I think we should have that discussion fleshed out here about our strategic goals, not policy goals, but just our strategic goals, what we want to see happen in future.
Speaking of strategies, I'd like to also talk about doing at least one performance piece, guerrilla theater, before the semester's over, just to see how it goes. I've got this idea, and I want to
all right.
see what you guys think.
What's your name?
Waylon.
Waylon?
And would that would be a topic discussion?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got that written down. Okay, good.
Guys, we're getting so productive. I love this. It's amazing.
Two topics of discussion. First, Occupy Port Jefferson. We should get involved. They're right there. They're less than 5 miles away. We meet every Saturday. We should talk about getting involved and how to get there.
Yeah, great. Good topic.
And secondly, I'll let him go.
Oh, yeah?
For a second.
Come back to you.
What's your name, by the way?
Will,
Will. Excellent.
we have enough people here that we could actually do some sort of publicity stunt recruitment. For example, personally, I've been involved with Occupy Wall Street since the very beginning. And until November 17th, I had no idea Occupy Stony Brook existed. Otherwise I would have been here every day. So what we need to start doing is creating a stir on campus, conducting these very quick, very simple actions that will get people talking. And even if they don't convince people to join our cause that aren't already in support of Occupy Wall Street, word will get to people who already support Occupy Wall Street that we exist.
Right, and I think that is exactly in different words what I was talking about with guerrilla theater.
There's a lot that could be consolidated topic-wise. There's a lot
yeah.
Yeah, I guess as a topic that would just be under the same like
strategic goals.
Strategic strategies.
strategic recruitment tactics.
Yeah, with the
Make sure to
tinting
bring
and
all
guerrilla
these,
theater.
I guess, clarifying questions or point of information.
After we go into the topics, if we go into the topics, then we can have questions.
All right.
But our questions can be discussed on the topics and while you're discussing the topics. So yeah.
I remember my thing. For a while, I know that the people at Zuccotti Park and Occupy Wall Street do have good amounts of food, but I thought it would be kind of cool if we could all get together and do some sort of baking project and
Information.
Go ahead.
Oh,
keep talking.
and then
Information after.
Yeah.
and go ahead and work together on making some sort of thing, and then going as a group, or a few of us go representative, give it out to people at the park, doing stuff. And
Anybody free on Thanksgiving? You have something that continue that?
I think there are points though.
The SJA actually is bringing donations of food into the city every Sunday. They are outside of Kelly, the Kelly convenience store. They're collecting donations of food. You just buy it at the convenience store or whatever from, and they're bringing it into the city. So there's something like going on.
When do they collect everyone?
Sundays
And,
in the evening.
oh, yeah, sorry. And,
As far as the situation of bringing food to Zuccotti Park, the kitchen has been re-erected inside the park, however not quite to its former glory, to try to extinguish it indirectly without coming in with bulldozers again. What Brookfield Office Properties has been doing is they've been allowing you to bring food in, but only if it's in a serving that they estimate is for one person. So if we bring some sort of shopping cart full of food, we could stage some sort of symbolic act where we just rotate in carrying one food item apiece and continuously leave and re-enter with one person worth of food repeatedly.
There we go. Another publicity stunt. Guerrilla.
That's good.
I like
And that
stuff.
would be at Zuccotti Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that
Because
would first
because
need to be
Brookfield has-
organized thing where we all go together.
Brookfield has
Yeah.
two entrances open at this time that they're very tightly controlling.
Yeah.
So if they see you bringing a shopping bag in,
Yeah.
they'll pretty much tell you to go away. But if they see you bringing in like a box of Frosted Flakes,
Yeah.
it's just one box of Frosted Flakes. You can come in with that.
Yeah.
There's no bags of multiple items.
Yeah.
So that's the topic for that.
So, how many topics do we have left in terms of what you already wrote down?
I pretty much said everything.
Okay.
Except I have one more thing. Those posters.
Oh, what posters?
The big tits one.
Yes.
I think we should talk about that.
Alright,
What I want to know.
what? Okay. That is something. All questions will be answered during SAC. All right, so I'm going to write down big tits.
What they are.
Okay. I have actually some topics. Well, not a lot really. I wrote down during class. First is an awareness campaign. It's kind of an extension to Bank Transfer Day, where we let students know that TCFU exists and they should transfer the money into there, especially if they're using the Bank of America ATMs, which are at the Union. Grosses me out every time I see them. So basically, an awareness campaign that credit unions exist. There's one on campus, a full branch, and the benefits of it and why, especially for Bank of America students, stop using that and go in there instead.
So, would that be? I'll get you. But would that be one where it would be part of similar to what we were saying before? We should get together and kind of inform each other about all these things.
Okay, so you know what? that is that.
It's
So,
almost an overarching topic with that.
so that's strategic goals. Strategic
full
goals.
branches on campus.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there's one. I got a lot of people asking us at Starbucks solidarity with UC Davis and UC Berkeley. I feel we should discuss. Are we going to march? And also, it was something I was discussing with Chrissy earlier. That march solidarity is very good, and that's the right thing to do in my opinion. But at the same time, we should mix in with that. Why did they get pepper sprayed in the first place? Because my personal fear is that we're gonna have a lot of. If we do a solidarity march, they're gonna have a huge turnout because there's over the weekend a lot of students have been pissed off, even out here, a lot. But they would come for the solidarity march and then not stay for the greater movement. You know what I mean? They'd come, I march in solidarity, and then leave. So it's something we should discuss in terms of solidarity march, yes, but also tied in with strategic goals of why they got pepper sprayed in the first place. Why did the UC Berkeley kids get pegged constantly? The overarching theme. It's not simply police brutality. It's something more than that. So that's something we should discuss. And then the last one I have is the radio show on WSB. I've talked with a few people already. If you're not aware of it, there was an empty slot in the middle of a day on Thursday, so 1 to 2:30 p.m. It's Occupy show centered. So far, I did it once, and what I propose is it's a show catered. It's an old media outlet for a new media movement, so to speak. If I had to use buzzwords to describe it, that's how I would. But it's a way that we could that the Occupy movement in general, and especially the Stony Brook one and any local ones here, Smithtown, Port Jeff, can have an outlet that reaches people, especially people that are not used to surfing the internet or don't know how to dissect information on the internet. So you have this nice radio broadcast that broadcasts not only to the local area, but it does broadcast online at WSB-FM, and we have a computer in there so we can play Ustream stuff, which I've been doing. That first show I played a lot from OWS NYC, their stream. I played it over the air. So I think it's a good media tool to disperse more information and stuff like that. So I think that's something but I want to discuss it to get everyone's opinion and what do you think we should be doing with it. So that's
Cool.
a topic I want to throw.
So that's kind of underneath like strategies and tactics.
Yeah, it's within strategies, but that's how I feel like that's one
have a lot of
because it's a
stuff to
big
talk about.
a radio show on a legitimate, licensed station. So it's something I want to discuss within strategy, but also within its own.
Cool.
If we could nest topics like that.
So I guess